Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is Jamala Rogers, and we'll be talking about something very, very important to you today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is Jamala Rogers from the Organization for Black Struggle. Good day again, Jamala. Good day.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. You know, we know about the Organization for Black Struggle, but you guys are doing a special initiative this
Yeah.
this
And it's
year.
really not just the Organization for Black Struggle. It started off as a conversation with myself and E. Williams with Williams and Associate about the alarming rate of black suicide. And so we decided to launch an initiative because we knew there were other people doing the work, but it was kind of spread out, and so we needed to bring them together to really have an impact on that issue. And so recently we had a press conference to announce the launch, and coming up we'll have a resource fair, community day for hope, healing, and wellness. And so what we are trying to do really is to make people aware of the crisis. It really is a crisis, Bernie. Black male suicide has risen dramatically since COVID. We don't know why. I got my unofficial, analysis, but what we know now is suicide rate is number 3 for black males ages 15 to 24.
15 to 24.
15 to 24. And it's really kind of sad that somebody would be thinking about suicide at 15.
Mm-hmm.
However, we had one of our young people in our youth program commit suicide at 10 last year.
Oh.
So then 2 months later, we had one of the members of the Organization for Black Struggle commit suicide. And so we said, okay, those two things are telling us, let's sound the alarm. And so, and so we have. And so I think, when you look at suicide rates, again, high, black suicide among black males is higher than 10 times as high as their white counterpart, and it is even higher than black girls and women. So really, it's in a class by itself. And so we need to figure out what's going on, get the most recent data about suicides in this city, and then see how we can circle around that issue and have an impact.
How long has ERISE been recording this data?
Well, ERISE is not recording it. We're going to have to find some researchers, and there's some folks at Washington University that we've learned has been collecting it. And so we'll be reaching out to them. But we know everywhere I go, Bernie, there's somebody saying, I'm glad you all doing this. I had a loved one that committed suicide 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So it's an issue that I think people are aware of, but not aware of how bad it is. And so this is what this is about.
Well, you got me because I had no idea how bad this was about.
Yeah. I mean, people focus in on the homicides, which is number 1 for that age group.
Sure.
Suicides are close behind. And some of that, I mean, when you look at, for example, even since COVID, and then you look at the fact that we had the current president in place, cutting, slashing, really anti-black kinds of policies, doing away with DEI. I mean, all of us people of color are under pressure and stressed out. But for black males, they seem to be taking it very personal and very differently. And so we need to figure out the where and the how and the why so that we can target, like, where do the services need to be? Where does the support need to be? But we also know the community is a big part of any healing process. And so we want people to just be more aware. We're going to start outlining what the symptoms are so people can say, we need to get Johnny some help, or we need to get, Jelani some help. So for me, it is definitely a calling. I think those 2 deaths meant something very personal to me. And then you'll be talking with Christopher Pate, who has a story of his own. Right. Because everybody is not a statistic. Some people survive, And we need to find out what are the factors that led to them getting out of that dark place into the light. And certainly Chris Pate has a story to tell. In fact, he's written a book about it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Have you addressed this in your St. Louis American newspaper column?
I have over time, and I'm getting ready to do some more intense. Just because I think that people, even when they see something, they don't know what to do with it. And certainly you don't know where the resources are to help. And I would say that even about our school system. You know, the young man that was a part of the school shooting for Central Vision and Performing Arts back in 2022, he had exhibited signs of problems for a very long time, but he, didn't get the help that he needed, or he didn't get the kind of help that he needed. And so for me, that's going to be, going forward, the big thing. How do we address it in a way that's not just performative or superficial, because people's lives are at stake?
You've addressed this in your broadcasting column. I mean, your broadcasting.
Yeah. We've had some of the folks on who actually provide services and who specific to black males. And so I think there's a number of black men circles that are going on now to have a safe place for men to come and talk about those issues and open up to one another. And that's the beginning of a community, because that's a trusted place that you feel safe in, and then try to move out. But I think because everybody's got their own set of problems, and I just believe all of us are suffering from post-traumatic stress in many different ways, whether it be intergenerational or otherwise. It's hard for us to recognize when something is not normal, because we've normalized insanity in many ways.
How will you conduct this initiative, this study?
Well, we're going to figure that out. But I think the main thing is really sounding the alarm, and also getting the people who are doing the services together to see how to coordinate. Sometimes people think people doing the same services is repetition, but the issue is so big, it's not going to be repetition. It's just going to be filling in those gaps. And I think people are committed to doing that. It is a question of resources, because again, the president that we have has cut federal grants for this kind of work. So people the community's going to have to step up in many ways. And I think we have what we need in our community to do that. And I think part of what we'll find out is that the healing process starts with us, so that we can help other people heal.
How can one get more information?
They can call the Organization for Black Struggle at area code 314-367-5959, or they can just Google Organization for Black Struggle and go to our website. But I really am inspired by the story of Chris Pate. As I read that book, and I've told him this, I'm kind of person that speaks to a movie, like telling people what they should or should not do.
Course, yeah.
And so reading his book, I was like, don't give up, Chris, don't, keep going, you can do this. I'm like finding myself
You're
talking.
interacting with the book.
Yeah, I'm interacting with that book, and I'm like, you can do it, even though I knew what the outcome was, and he ended up being okay. But going through what he went through, and him being so graphic in the way that he explained it, I'm like just cheering him on along the way. And I think we have to do that with other young men in our community. We have to give them support, love, and cheer them on. And we need to find opportunities to do that.
Any success stories yet?
No, because we just kicked it off. But again, when I've talked about this, people have come up to me. So really isn't covering the depth and gravity of the situation. And sometimes even having an event that we're having triggers people to remember that they had a loved one. And so it's not the Community Day is not just for victims or survivors and their families, but it's for the entire community, because all of us are impacted when somebody takes their own lives, or somebody takes their lives. And so what we know is that suicide affects the whole family. Everybody gets involved, everybody's touched. And sometimes there's a lot of blame going on because you don't understand the why part. Sometimes it's obvious, but other times it's like this kid is doing great in school, and then all of a sudden, you hear about there's a hanging, and you're like, what? I thought he was okay. And so somewhere we're not catching the signs early enough. And so the awareness part of the initiative is really what we're going to focus on initially. And then we'll work into a research model that works for St. Louis.
Was this shocking to you, the information?
No, because part of like when you organize and you're seeing things, you may not have the data to document what you're seeing. But I knew, and I've been writing about black males for a while, you know, the fact that they are unnecessarily harassed by the police, what that means, that that's been normalized, that they're going to get stopped by the police just because they're black. So I already knew that, and then when you look at the prison system, you know, we're disproportionately there. We've been traumatized there, then we come out, and we don't have a whole lot of services there either. So our community is going to have to figure out how do we take care of ourselves in the midst of the wicked system that we're under right now.
Okay. Jamala, thank you. We're going to take a break now and come back with Christopher Pate and learn more about this terrible subject. We're the New Life Evangelistic Center 2428, which is enrolled in Overland, Missouri. Jamala Rogers can be contacted through the Organization for Black Struggle, 314-367-5959, or go to their website. And to get more information on this suicide initiative they're talking about. We'll be right back with Christopher Pate after this.
A lot of people are experiencing some difficult times walking through the journey of life, feeling that they're just totally overwhelmed. Maybe you're one of those individuals. I want to encourage you to get in God's Word, know that He loves you, He'll never forsake you, He's got a purpose for your life. If you haven't reached out and helped somebody lately, there's so many people that need help at this time. And those opportunities are available to you at New Life Evangelistic Center. We have search and rescue teams that are going out, finding people everywhere, and taking them to the direct help they need, helping them break the cycle of homelessness, going out to a wide variety of residential living programs we have. So many people hurting at this particular moment, and many that are in need. And you're going to feel good about helping somebody else that's in need. So if you want further information, call us at 314-421-3020. You can give online at nlecstl.org. You can volunteer, and most of all, you can really pray. We need prayer warriors at this time, facing some critical needs at this moment, and your prayers will definitely make a big difference for good. So please continue to keep us in your prayers here at the New Life Evangelistic Center.
Behind me is the New Life Evangelistic Center administrative offices in Overland, Missouri. And this is where we shoot our shows for our worship shows and the Here's Help Network. And it's also where Zakid Baroudi and Bernie Hayes shoot their shows. You can find all of these shows at the New Life Evangelistic Center app, the NLEC TV app. You can also access them on your tablet or on your computer. And this is how you can stay up to date with all the things that New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. There are so many different programs that we've got going on, and God is doing many exciting things through partners like you. So if you want to support the work that New Life is doing, then please access and give through the app. You can go online at nlecstl.org or give us a call at 314-421-3020. Again, 314-421-3020. But this is the best way to get plugged into the amazing work that New Life is doing through people like you. And so there is something for you to get involved in today. And we are so thankful for our partners. Only through the grace of God and your gift are we able to bless others today.
And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest this segment is Christopher Pate. He's an author of a book called The Drop Deliverance, and also a case manager for bringing families together. Christopher, welcome.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Well, you got a very interesting story to tell, too. Jamala Rogers mentioned you in her segment on this suicide initiative they're conducting and trying to get more information about it and preventive suicides if possible.
Yes, sir.
So you're involved in all this. You were one that's attempted suicide or contemplated suicide one time?
I contemplated. I dealt with the suicide ideations for many years. It's a piece of my journey I never thought I thought I would experience. I never thought I would experience such feelings. I always help people overcome those feelings.
Sure.
So when life happened to me, life happens to us all. When life happened to me, I was not prepared for it, you know? After my life almost ended because of a drunk driver's bad decisions, careless, selfish decisions. And I had to work to discover or find Chris again. I was on the journey to find myself again because the person I woke up as was not the person I knew.
Sure.
He was not the person that people talked about. So trying to accept this person, I didn't want to do it, you know? So I was convinced that if I just found Chris again, all would be well. If I figured out what I need to figure out, if I prayed hard enough, I would be okay. And through that, I realized on the journey towards becoming Christian and trying to find myself, I couldn't find him fast enough. I woke up daily with aches, pains. I couldn't think the way I used to, apparently. I couldn't really process. My friends left me. The friends I thought I had, they left me, and I was in a valley.
Was this a result of an accident?
Yes, sir, the crash.
Tell us about that.
So,
if it's okay.
Yes, sir. I've been talking about it for years. You know, it's healing and talking about it. But yes, I was a senior at Harris-Stowe University, the HSSU. St. Louis is only HBCU.
HBCU.
I have to shout it out. You know.
Sure.
So I was a senior in college, preparing to begin my lifelong career of teaching. I wanted to teach since middle school, so I knew I was close to it. Finally, you know, after getting there. K-State, another HBCU, and not really making the best decisions.
Sure.
And transferring to Harris-Stowe, I was back on target. I was like, I'm going to get this degree. First, my family to have a college degree. So with that, I was on track to graduate. At the corner of Natural, I was preparing to celebrate my birthday that was coming up. And a friend and I went out, and that night I was a sober driver. I wanted to make the best decision.
Certainly.
So this party could be lit, you know. I needed lit or really nice. I wanted to have a great time, right? And I wanted to be sure my family and friends that came out with me to celebrate with me could have a good time, apparently. So I had just dropped my friend off at home and was heading on to sleep, making a right turn at the corner of Natural Bridge and Newstead, when a drunk driver ran his red light and crashed into my car on the driver's side of the car. When authorities found me, I was unresponsive on the passenger side of the car. I suffered a traumatic brain injury, many fractures in my face and chin, a broken collarbone, collapsed lungs, and I was in a coma for 6 weeks. They contacted my mother and told her what happened, where to come. Her first question, is my baby okay? Wouldn't tell her. Is my baby alive? They wouldn't tell her. Like, ma'am, this is what happened. We need you to come to the hospital as soon as you can. You have to get here. So she arrived, and she was told I would die that night.
I want to talk about your book.
Yes,
Is that a result of this accident and this
Yes,
trauma that you went through?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it.
The book,
I've
been wanting to write a book since around high school. And I had a book of short stories I began working on in undergrad part one down in Kentucky. So one of my closest friends, she kept encouraging me, Chris, go ahead, we have to get your book out. So I approached the publisher with my short stories. And the publisher, we met a couple of times, and he said, well, these are good, but I feel like there's something else here. Let me get your social media. So I gave him my Facebook, and I think that's all I had. So I gave him my Facebook, and I post about the crash a lot. And he was browsing, apparently he was scanning one day. Our next meeting, he said, tell me about this accident. I explained. I said, wait, you're talking about the crash? He said, no, the accident, January 25th, 2009. I said, yes, sir. I don't call it an accident because the drunk driver made decisions.
Yeah.
So it wasn't accidental. My life didn't almost end because of an accident. He caused a crash due to his selfish decisions. So he said, tell me more about that. So I began talking about it, and I became very emotional. As I'm fighting back tears right now.
I understand, sure.
I've been talking about it since 2010, and it's still a really soft spot in my heart. Either way, so I began talking about it, and he stopped me. He said, "Hey, that's your first book." I said, "No, it's not." And he encouraged me. I had many meetings with other publishers, other people that worked for him, and they all wouldn't lay off of the book of the story of the crash, my testimony. Yeah. So eventually, I agreed to it. Yeah.
Okay. The Drunk Deliverance. How can we get the book?
It's available on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble online, and other major retailers. If you do a quick Google search, it'll turn up for you in different places. It's also, at the St. Louis Public Library. They bought copies and it's in rotation.
Which library?
St. Louis Public Library.
Okay,
yes,
so they can get it.
I was so honored, yes.
The trauma that you went through, can you detail or give us some kind of overview of how you fought that and survived, more or less?
God, my faith.
Okay.
My faith. My mother introduced me to Christ when I was 5 years old. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know much about myself, but when I woke up from the coma, eventually I realized I needed to pray. So I prayed a lot during that time. I also had the support of my beautiful mother and my village. Mm-hmm. Right? My mother was there every day. When I was in the coma for 6 weeks, she wouldn't go back to work. She would not leave the hospital. So her job, she had just been transferred to a different company. Had just bought their company. It just been outsourced. I'm sorry, I was searching for the word. Mm-hmm. She's just been outsourced. And they kept telling her, hey, if you don't come to work, we're going to have to terminate you. She was like, and she said, okay, well, terminate me, because I'm not leaving the hospital until you say it. So my baby says Chris. So my baby says Mama. She wanted to hear me say Mama. And so through that, when I woke from the coma, I had to learn how to walk, how to talk.
Take your time, Chris. We understand.
How to feed myself, how to bathe, how to cook, how to learn everything. Everything I did.
You had to be reborn.
I was reborn on January 25th, 2009.
Yeah. Okay.
So I tell people I have 2 birthdays now: January 25th, 2009, the day I was allowed to live, and February 12th, my original birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what would people get from this book, Chris, to help them?
I hope they get, when life happens, you keep going. Okay. You find your way to keep going. It may not look like any other way. Now, it may not match any other person's way or their journey. Don't listen to other people, right?
Okay.
Kind of hear them, but don't listen to them. Don't let that become your truth. You pray and you keep going, no matter what happens.
Okay. How can one reach you?
I'm available. They can find me on Facebook at Christopher M. Pate, Instagram and TikTok, the same name, Christopher M. Pate. Okay. My full name. And that's also my author name. Yes, sir.
Okay, so The Drunk Deliverance is a book we all should read, I assume.
Thank you, sir. I hope so.
For those contemplating suicidal activities or suicidal thoughts, what advice would you give them?
You're worthy of life.
So it's going to take your time.
Oh, well, sorry.
Sure.
There is purpose for your life.
Yes, sir.
No matter what happened, no matter how dark the day is, no matter how dark this time of your life is, you matter. There is something the world needs only you can provide. So you have to find your way to keep going. You have gifts, you have purpose. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just glad to see you work with Jamala Rogers and the Organization of Black Struggle and E. Rise Williams. And I'm sure that it's going to come out really, really well. And, I see that you're going through right now even. This was happened in 2009, the accident, the crash.
Yes, the crash of 2009.
And you're still suffering more or less to a degree. But
trauma lives.
Yeah, I'm saying, but you're doing pretty well, it seems.
Thank you, sir.
It's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. Come back with Christopher Pate after this. But remind you that you're at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Wilson Road in Overland, Missouri. And Reverend Larry Rice has been here for more than 54 years, almost 55 years, helping those in need, helping the poor, helping the unhoused. And we need your help and support. You can do that by calling 314-420-3020 right here in St. Louis, Missouri. And Bernie Hayes back with Christopher Pate after this.
Since 1972, New Life Evangelistic Center has been on the front lines, reaching out, helping the hurting, the homeless, the fatherless, the widowed throughout mid-America. Yes, although it's had its roots in St. Louis, it now has expanded throughout Mid-America into India and Africa, Haiti, and other places around the world. Oh, what a history New Life Evangelistic Center has. And we have many of these history books available to you, and they're right there on Amazon. And if we can help you get one of those, you contact us at 314-421-3020. But in addition to all that, we want to share a lot of that history with you right here as we take a look at how the work began and how the Lord has taken us throughout the years and the miracles that we have seen, all because of caring people like you. You're part of the history of the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're on the verge of miracles. Yes, New Life Evangelistic Center has a rich history, but there's much more yet to come, and that's why I'm inviting you to familiarize yourself with the history of the past and be a part of the miracles of the present. Yes, let the Lord God Almighty work in you and through you. Let Him do exceedingly beyond what you can ask or think. He's got a purpose for you, and we want you to be able to live out that purpose as you get directly involved in the history of New Life Evangelistic Center and what the Lord is doing now.
Today's subject, Harry T. Moore, an educator, civil rights activist who helped establish an NAACP chapter in Brevard County, Florida, recognized for single-handedly increasing the number of NAACP chapters in Florida for helping thousands of African Americans register to vote in the 1940s. His activism predated the traditional civil rights movement, and he is ahead of his time in pushing for social justices and voting rights. He was especially interested in addressing unequal salaries and segregated schools. He was born November the 18th in 1905 in Houston, Florida, in Suwannee County to Stephen Joseph and Rosella Alberta Moore. He continued working toward legal and political justice after the case of the state coordinated branches in NAACP. Ku Klux Klan activity was there on the rise, and on Christmas Eve in 1951, the Moores were assassinated when a bomb was placed in their bedroom. The couple had just celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. Thankfully, both of their daughters survived the attack. Harry T. Moore.
When you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center, you impact so many people. The economy in this country is really hurting so many all over. And we're seeing the number of people who are experiencing homelessness rise. You can make a difference today by giving your gift online at newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Make a real big change in the lives of so many.
And welcome back. My guest is Christopher Pate. He's the author of The Drunk Deliverance, a book that tells so much about so many things, called Discovering Purposes and Traumatic Experiences. Wow. Chris, how can we get the book again?
Yes, sir. It's available on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble online, and the other major retailers. You can do a quick Google search and it'll come. And I still do it from time to time. I hate to admit it, but I already did. I just kind of Google the book, and it comes up. And I'm so proud because God allowed me to do this.
Yeah.
They told my mom I would die. They told me to become a greeter at Walmart. Told me I could not complete college, and God allowed me to complete college and achieve my dream.
And with the families, better family.
And yes, sir, and work with families to help them, hopefully bring families together and help the children realize that even with the trauma they've endured, children in foster care have endured some tough times. I cry at my desk oftentimes, like looking through the files and looking through the case notes. And I try to help them. Keep going.
Okay. Well, and I have 30 seconds left, but just in those brief 30 seconds, tell us how your faith promotes you and parallels you and carry you to.
My faith is the reason I am here.
Okay.
It wakes me up every day. It allows me to pursue my purpose. It allows me to keep going and to be a light for other people.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much. And thank each and every one of you for supporting us here at the New Life Evangelistic Center. I'm Bernie Hayes. Until next time, have a great day.